Hello guys, Mr. Fluffy Pants here. Today guys, got another movie review, and part of my Halloween reviews series, I'm going to be reviewing the rest of the Scream movies, because I did do a review for the first one last year, so make sure you guys check that out. But this is not my first time I watched all the Scream movies. I watched them all last year, I just couldn't get reviews for them all out. So today I'm reviewing Scream 2, which is the sequel to the first one, which came out a year later, or really less than a year. Came out in 1997, but it's pretty much all the returning characters, pretty much. Now they're in college, and a new string of murders pops up, and like all the Scream movies are on Netflix, I believe. So if you want to watch them, go watch that. But because there will be spoilers in this, for who the killers are and all that. But Sidney Prescott, of course, she's back, and she is great. She's like the Sarah Connor of this franchise, which, to be honest, this is probably definitely my top 3 favorite horror franchises, and I wish they'd make another one. I might make a whole separate video why they won't and why they should, maybe. But I just love the whole Ghostface killer. His costume's really cool. He's pretty intimidating, the costume and all. And I really like how each movie, like especially the first time I ever watched these last year, I like trying to figure out who the killer is and how many there are. Like, that's always really cool to me. But that's just part of the the whole franchise. And of course, you got some of my favorite returning characters back. You got Randy and Dewey, which are my 2 favorites. And unfortunately, Randy does end up getting killed in this movie, which is unfortunate. But whatever. And the whole college setting, they used a good use sometimes, like the when the one sorority girl gets murdered. It kind of reminded me of Black Christmas a little bit. And I love how in this movie Ghostface just kind of sneaks around the background. It really does make it tense and creepy. You also got that whole tense sequence inside the the college with Dewey, Gale, and Ghostface. That was a pretty tense sequence, and I do like how they were watching footage of all the kills and they see them pop up, because I don't know, that was just really cool. But of course, you got Ghostface, always getting pratfalled or whatever, always falling down, getting stuff thrown at him. Like, whenever one of them's attacking the sorority girl, she runs up the steps and there's just a random bike on the stairs, so she like throws it at him. I'm like, why is there just a bike on the staircase? I don't know, it's kind of weird. But they do use the college setting for their advantage here. And one also really nice thing is the whole third act. I do like the third act. It's not as good as the original one, like from the first movie, but I do like how there's a little psychological stuff there with Sidney, Mickey, which is one of the killers, Mickey and Mrs. Loomis, which we'll get into those 2 later and how I feel about them. But Mickey gives Sidney like psychological trauma, because like Derek's tied up he's pretty much tied up, and he can't really do anything because of some hazing, because he gave away his Greek signs or whatever. So and he makes her think that that he was actually his partner in the killings and whatever. But turns out he's not. But she believes it, so she doesn't untie him. Then Mickey just shoots him right in front of her. I don't know. It's really like, it would probably be traumatizing her, to be honest. But Mickey. Okay, so in the movie, he's not really in there that much. Like, he's in there, but he doesn't really, I don't know, he's just not really at the forefront. So he kind of came out of nowhere, to be honest. But the one that really did come out of nowhere was Mrs. Loomis. It does make sense why she's in there, but I don't know, they didn't even show her one time at least throughout the movie. But and then like Mickey's whole motive for doing this is he wants to blame the movies and something about a court case. I don't know, it was kind of weird, to be honest. But even Mrs. Loomis said that his idea was stupid, because she ends up turning on him and killing him. But and then Mrs. Loomis is like, I just want some good old-fashioned revenge, which is and then one thing is Mickey, during the third act on the stage or whatever, the final confrontation on stage, he's like straight up doing like an impression of Stu from the last movie, which is a little weird, but oh well. And Cotton Weary does play a bigger role in this movie. He is free from prison now after being wrongly accused, and he wants his 5 minutes or his 15 minutes of fame, so he can clear his name. And by the end of the movie, he does eventually get that. But I don't know, he does look suspicious throughout the entire movie, but it's actually not him. And at the end, it seems like him and Sidney are on good terms or whatever. But this movie is not as good as the first first one in my opinion. A lot of people consider it to be just as good, if not better. And I'd probably say it's just a smidge below the first one for me. Because that first one, I mean, it's just such a great concept. And I don't know, the third act is just so well done. And don't get me wrong, this one has some great scenes too. Like that opening scene at the movie theater was really great, I thought. I don't know if it's better than the first one with the opening scene, but it's probably on the same level of opening scenes at least. Because I mean, it was pretty shocking when, you know, she gets up and like screams in front of everybody. But I mean, it's like I said, I think I do still like the first one a little bit more, and I can't remember what I gave the first one when I first reviewed it, but I probably give the first one about a 9 out of 10. So I'm going to give Scream 2 an 8 out of 10 because, you know, not as good as the first one, or not as, I wouldn't say not as good, but not as enjoyable to me at least as the first one, but it's still a really solid sequel. And then, you know, whenever I review the third one, which, you know, is kind of bad to be honest, but whenever I review that, I also review Scream 4 eventually, and then I might do a video why I think they won't do a Scream 5 and why I would like them to, because, you know, that's kind of an interesting thing. But I mean, this movie's really good to be coming out like less than a year after the first one, because it was kind of rushed into production, and I don't know what the heck they did with Scream 3 to be honest. But like I said, we'll get into that in another review video. But anyway, guys, let me know down below what you guys think of the Scream franchise and Scream 2 particularly. Like I said, it's probably my top 3 favorite horror franchises, or slashers at least. Anyway, guys, check out my Twitter and Discord, link in the description. Like and subscribe for more. Check out some other videos, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!